Welcome back to MMA Flix, your source for all the latest MMA news. Today, we're talking about a potential matchup that has fight fans buzzing with excitement. Jose Aldo, former UFC featherweight champion, is set to take on Jeremy Stephens at Gamebred Boxing for this weekend. However, his focus is already on a much bigger prize, a potential fight against undefeated boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. Negotiations between Aldo's team and Mayweather have reportedly been ongoing for some time, and a win against Stephens could be just what Aldo needs to seal the deal. In a recent pre-fight press conference in Milwaukee, Aldo discussed the potential meeting of combat sports greats. "We've been negotiating that fight for a good while," Aldo said. "Floyd already knows about the fight. I first need to think about my fight this Saturday, and then I can see what's going to happen. But yeah, we've been in negotiations for a long time, and that fight could go down in Saudi Arabia." Mayweather, who has been extremely busy in retirement, has already competed in 5 exhibition matches this year, with plans for 5 more heists in 5 different countries. Aldo would undoubtedly be a more intriguing opponent than most of Mayweather's other exhibitions. "We're going to do the work on Saturday, and after that we'll sit down again with everyone to book the fight," Aldo declared. If Aldo does get the Mayweather fight, he will have to live up to the expectations he set when he criticized Conor McGregor for his money performance. "It was a money fight," Aldo said flatly back in 2017. "A moral victory would have been taking on an active boxer, a champion, and then fought him. And then you'd see how he would barely last a round. Because it's an entirely different sport. We need to put ourselves in our places." For those who are interested in seeing a night of MMA fighters boxing, Gamebred Boxing 4 goes down tomorrow night at the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Roy Jones Jr. vs. Anthony Pettis is set to be the main event. Fans can buy the pay-per-view, PPV, through UFC Fight Pass for $49.99. Now let's taking a look at the unique and often bizarre world of MMA in Japan. For fighters starting their careers in Japan, it's not uncommon to get paid very little. However, paying to fight is something that should never be part of the plan. But for Jessica Rose Clark, that's exactly what happened in March 2017 at Battlefield Fighting Championships' only event. The promotion never paid the fighters, and Clark ended up fighting for free against Sarah Kaufman. This was just one of the many crazy experiences that Clark has had in her decade-long journey as a professional fighter. In a recent interview with MMA Mania, Clark revealed that when she fought in Japan, she actually paid her opponent her fight purse. "I paid to fight," she said. "They forked me." Clark traveled to Tokyo, Japan, to face Emiko Raika in what turned out to be an all-time lose-lose scenario. According to Clark, her contract stated that she was supposed to arrive in Tokyo 3 days before the fight to do her weight cut. However, they flew her in a few hours before the weigh-in, causing her to miss weight by 2 pounds. The contract also stated that if the fight didn't happen, she would be financially responsible for all expenses. "I'm like, fork, I got no money. I can't afford to pay for my flight, pay my corner's flights," she continued. "I missed weight, but if they hadn't flown me in right before the weigh-in, I wouldn't have missed weight. It was 2 pounds, that was it. I was so close." Despite all the challenges, Clark agreed to compete. However, she couldn't come in heavier than 131 pounds on fight night, and even had to cut weight by herself surrounded by old Japanese women because she wasn't allowed to wear clothes. The environment was not only unwinnable but also financially unrewarding, as she wasn't paid for the fight. Clark's experience in Japan was an unforgettable one, to say the least. The footage of her bout with Raika seems to have been scrubbed from every corner of the internet, and even the promotion had nothing to share with her upon request. "None of us spoke Japanese, no one around us spoke English. It was an experience," Clark said. All in all, the world of MMA in Japan is just different. From paying to fight to crazy weight-cutting experiences, fighters like Jessica Rose Clark have seen it all. So there you have it, folks. Keep an eye out for the outcome of Jose Aldo's fight against Jeremy Stephens this weekend, and stay tuned to MMA Flix for updates on the potential Mayweather vs. Aldo matchup. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. See you next time.